and provide you with copies. The copies will also show you the breakdown of the number of registered voters by polling stations. So that is our brief on the status with regards to polling stations that are open for voting today. Then in terms of results, I will hand over to the chairperson, but suffice to say that we started receiving results electronically, the first being about 0 to 10 this morning, but I'm sure you'll appreciate that we did have to follow the process of verifying the results before having them posted, and earlier on we did have challenges with receiving faxes. We liaised with Zamtel, Managing Director, and I believe now we are now receiving the faxes from the districts, and the verification will continue. So at this point, I'll hand over to the chairperson of the Electoral Commission of Zambia. My name.
Thank you very much,
Oh, she's no, but you're reading the one.
This is it. Thank you so much, Director, for that brief. Ladies and gentlemen, I think from the brief you can ascertain that we have faced unprecedented challenges in the conduct of this election due to the weather. I think we all know that this election came about by operation of law, in that our Constitution provides that after the demise of a head of state, we must conduct an election within 90 days. And unfortunately, the 90 days expire in the midst of our rain season. We have had all along those polling stations which could only be accessed by air, and we made our preparations as we normally do in all the elections to use Zambia Air Force planes to deliver materials and poll staff. But due to the heavy rains that characterized most of the country from last week right up to now, we found ourselves having even more areas being inaccessible by road. In some constituencies, you could only have 2 which you can access, and the rest could not be accessed by road except by air. In fact, in some, like Mitete, we have had to use boats up to a certain point this morning, and up from that point up to the polling station, we shall use ox carts to take the materials to the polling stations. So this is the situation we are faced with. But most of the country, we have conducted the election apart from those areas which the director spoke about. And as the director mentioned, the results have started coming in. And as we updated the stakeholders, once these results come in electronically, we have to verify them. We have a paper trail from the polling station right up to the results center here at Mulungushi. We painstakingly verify each and every result before it can be released to the public. But now we are faced with a dilemma in that so many polling stations are still voting, and we have made a decision that it would not be appropriate for us to give you the tally of the results so far verified up to now, because there are other voters who are still voting. Those people are voting is just like all of us who voted yesterday. They must vote with a free mind, unhindered by speculation of who is the leading candidate, who is the trailing candidate, so that at the end of the day, they exercise their right to vote just as everybody else did. And then after that, we start the release of the tally. The constituencies, of course, have made their announcements, but the tally, we are doing it here after verifying all the results which are being received. And we have received a number of them, and they keep coming, and we are tallying. These polling stations, which are supposed to start voting today, some started at 6 in the morning, others will start as soon as Zambia Air Force deliver their materials. For those 3 which are waiting for the ox carts to arrive, we have been told they may start anytime around 13 hours. We have said that the polling stations must be open for the full complement of 12 hours, so that everybody who wants to vote may exercise their right to vote. That is the reason why, ladies and gentlemen, much as we have the tally so far, we cannot give you that tally because we must allow these voters in the other polling stations to cast their votes. The number given is that in all those we have 21,337. As a commission, we would want to appeal to the citizens, the political parties, those conducting PVT, parallel voter tabulation. Please do not speculate on the results. We shall advise you of the tally of these results when the voting has closed in these polling stations. We anticipate that by tonight, everybody who intended to vote will have been given an opportunity to cast their vote. Therefore, realistically speaking, we want to postpone the tally to tomorrow at 10 in the morning, so that all these other people who have voted, nobody will be in the polling station and claim that they were unduly influenced by the information coming from us. So that is the position, ladies and gentlemen. The polling stations are just too many. The number of voters are just too many. We know that some of them are not on any GSM network, so that they may not know what is happening in Lusaka. But as from this morning, we have established that some of them may actually be on GSM network, and they may know what is happening in Lusaka, and therefore let's respect their right to vote without any undue influence. With these remarks, I will take any questions that you may have.
Please, as you ask your questions, give us your name and the organization where you're coming from, and ensure that you stick to as few questions as possible. So as brief as possible so that you can give a chance to others. So I'll take 3 questions to start. You can ask questions either on the director's update or on the chairperson's update.
It's the first question.
Good morning. This morning, you had been meeting with the UPNB leader.
Yes.
What is your policy? What were the people saying? What is the leader?
This morning we met the UPN leader. And just to put you in context, yesterday we met the PF Secretary General. But this morning's meeting, the concern by the UPN leader was that they want to monitor the voting in the areas where voting has been delayed. These are outlying areas, as I've said, which are not accessible, except by air or sometimes by ox cart. So the complaint that was raised to us was that their flying rights had been suspended or cancelled by Zambia Air Force. So they were unable to monitor the voting in those areas. We have since intervened and we have been told that it's restored. We have been told that the rights have been restored, so they are at liberty to go and monitor in those areas. Yesterday we met the PF Secretary General. I think he's concerned. Do I need to talk about the balance? His concern was that we had contracted a private radio station a private TV station to disseminate the results. That we are the saver, using the saver of that private TV station. But we did assure him that our contract is with ZNBC and all the other media houses are taken from ZNBC, and that everybody is free to take the feed from ZNBC, and that we use an agent, and that agent does contract a lot of people. So really it was like there was a misunderstanding as to really who is having the contract to disseminate the results. So I just meant to say that we do meet. If any political party asks for a meeting, we meet them so that they can tell us what it is that is concerning them.
I just want to find out what the extended order time has been in the 14.2
But they are yet to vote.
So in the 14, that's correct.
In the 14? Oh, I see. The voter turnout is very, very low. I don't think anyone has reached 40%, have they? Just 38, some as little as 25%. The voter turnout is very low, and we don't know whether, again, it's because of the weather. Because like in Lusaka, I know that much of the time when people are supposed to be voting, it was raining. So we don't know whether it's because of the weather, but in other stations where it didn't rain, it's equally low. So the voter turnout is very low. The average is 33.7% voter turnout in those which we have already verified. 33.7%, which is very, very low.
I'll take last question here, and I'll move over to the counterpart.
I'm Mike from Private Radio. I wanted to find out, there are issues you talked about not speculating through the PDT. Now, I wanted to find out because these results have come forth and some political parties are claiming that they are voting a number of votes, and they have expressed concern that this is why they are delaying to announce, but on their part, they're saying they are voting the results and they know the situation. So I want to know whether you've got the same system using your technology in terms of transmitting results from where your officers are. Is that the correct position? Because we've seen so far two PDT calculations that have come forth indicating to a certain political party. So I want to know that what is the position on that one? Because this thing is going on. Despite you saying people should not speculate, this thing is online and it's going. So what is your comment on that one?
Yes, thank you very much. You realize that when people vote at the polling station, that's where the count takes place. And at the end of the count, the results are given to all the political parties present, to the monitors present. If there is an international observer, maybe they also get a copy of the results. So from the polling station, these results are already in the public domain. It's no secret. The results are already in the public domain. And if a political party has the capacity to have agents in all the polling stations, they can do their own PVT and be able to assess how they are faring in the whole process. But what we are saying is that it is the Electoral Commission which has the mandate to declare the final result. Therefore, people should not speculate. The PVT you are talking about, we have seen some of the documentation on the people carrying out the PVT. Some of them were not even in all the polling stations. What they did was a sample. It was a sample. They sampled selected polling stations on the Copper Belt, Lusaka, or somewhere else, and expect from that platform to project who the winner might be. This is what we are saying should not happen. It's a question of fact as to who will win this election. It will be determined by precise figures of how much each candidate has scored, and then we shall be able to know who is the winner. So please don't speculate. And for political parties, I said, please avoid the premature celebrations. If you have done your own and you think you have won, keep it yourself. Let's keep the peace until we declare who the winner is. Let's not speculate. That's what I meant.
Thank you very much, Chair. I think I will pick 3 questions before I give an opportunity for the chairperson to respond. First one over there. There's a microphone just there where you are, very close to where you are.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Madam Chair.
Good afternoon.
Walianondo is my name, and I'm from Nari. You just talked about premature celebration. We are very much concerned. We want to know the position of the Commission on those disgruntled cadres who are outside Murumbushi, who are celebrating and inconveniencing people who are coming here and those that are using Great History. What are you doing about it? Because what will happen is that even other political parties will be forced to bring their cadres now who will see a crash right there. So we want to know exactly what you intend to do about those people. Thank you.
I thought behind this side of the
Chairperson, thank you very much for your update. My name is Kevin Ngula. I'm representing the Potential Movement. The Potential Movement is behind the Zambia Youth Observer Mission. Rightly, in your presentation, say that you have given one political party the right to go and monitor elections in particular areas which are voting today. As an observer, if I look at the code of conduct, it stipulates that all participating political parties have a balanced share, on anything which is commission, on everything which the election is doing, the election commission is doing at the election time. Have you considered other political parties who are participating to do so? My second question is that on what level are these monitoring from the political parties are that the presidential level or any other person who belongs to the political party? Thank you very much.
I think I already have 3 questions. I'll give a chance for the chairperson to answer.
I think the first question was from Narek on premature celebration and that there is now a horde of political party cadres outside Mulungushi. Our position as ECZ is that those cadres must be removed. I hope the police are here. Are they? Dr. Jerry and his group. We don't want cadres outside Mulungushi for whatever reason. They must stay in their camps. If all the 11 candidates think they have won, let them celebrate in their camps. But we don't want premature celebrations on the street. For whatever reason, please avoid premature celebration. We should have no cadres here at Mulungushi. Because you are right, if those stay at the gate, another rival group will mobilize themselves and come to Mulungushi. The next thing is the two at each other's throat. That we don't want. We should not have cadres outside Mulungushi, so the police should remove all those cadres, if any, who are outside Mulungushi. The other question was, we have given one political party rights to observe. No, we have given all political parties rights to observe. Every political party has a right to observe the remaining elections, just as they were observing those other elections. A candidate, any of the 11 candidates, is free to visit any polling station. They are free to visit any polling station. But if there is a breach of peace, of course, we shall reconsider. So it's not that we gave this political party the rights which others don't have. All of them have the rights. But this particular party, we are saying they are planned to visit these areas using a helicopter because these areas are inaccessible. They made that request, I think, when? Before the election, that they may want to observe. But I think maybe what they omitted was to ask for the rights from the Zambia Air Force to be able to be given those rights. But the Zambia Air Force, I think, cancelled their rights immediately. That election was, the polling in the majority of the polling stations was over. But in effect, the polling is still on because we still have these other areas where polling has to take place. So it's not that one political party has been given a right. Any of the other 11 candidates is free to go to those areas by whatever means to go and observe how the poll is being conducted. What is it? That's it.
I'll take another 3 questions. Over there.
Good morning, Madam. My name is Angela Shima from Zambia. I would like to find out, in view of the Commission's decision to sustain updates on election results, do we still project to have the final results on 23rd, or this will go on beyond the 23rd? Thank you.
I'll take another one.
Matthew Hill from Bloomberg News. Thanks very much for the information update. Just 2 points.
think the questions are interrelated, especially the one from Ms. Chishimba, and when we think voting will be finished. I think the other question was when will final results come? I'm trying to avoid what I've been saying, speculation. So the short answer will be they will come when we finish with the tabulation and all the stations have reported. But I think going on to the import of the other question is it's really when will voting finish? When shall we complete the voting? We are hoping that we will complete the voting by tonight. We hope. And we are crossing our fingers that all the polling stations will get their materials at least by this afternoon so that the voting goes on for the next 12 hours and they are able to count, because we have again to send the same helicopters to go and bring those results. We just hope that we shall have many planes at our disposal, because right now as I'm talking, the many other polling stations which we serviced by air, they are now being serviced to bring back the results from those polling stations to the different tally centers. So we hope that even those by Oxcat, we shall be able to go and get the results and bring them to the tally center. We are already tomorrow. Let me not speculate, but we'll try our level best that at least everything gets to the tally center by close of business tomorrow. We'll try our level best, but don't hold me to it, because you never know. If there is again too much rain, the same planes will be advised that they cannot fly. So if you are religious like me, let's pray that there isn't too much rain so that these planes are able to go back and bring back the results. So I'm not able really to give you a definite answer on that one, but we are trying, because we do know that results have to be announced as soon as possible. For us, we will not announce constituency results now. We are going straight into verification so that we are ready for you tomorrow. But we know that there is news gathering and whatever. So for the media, I know you'll be going to those stations to say this is what has been announced at this station, this is what has been announced at this station. Stick to the facts. This is what has been announced. You can cover those polling stations. Stick to the facts. This is what has been announced for this polling station. But our job is to tally. And we are now going straight into verification so that by tomorrow we have a very comprehensive picture. As long as the last person has voted, even if they are delayed in giving the results, we continue with our updates. What we want is simply that nobody should be voting while we are announcing the results.
I'll take another three, please, here.
I just want to find out if the Electoral Commission going to give us the briefing later this afternoon in terms of progress in those polling stations, not the results.
Another one? Yes, at the back. I'll come to you.
Good afternoon. My name is Alan Schmidt from Prime Television. I just want to take you back to the notice you sustained the announcement of the results. Is it because you realized that there was a general concern from stakeholders, or it was your personal decision, as an ECZ, realized that there was something wrong with it? Secondly, is to do with another concern with regard to we are able to receive results from across the country, far-flung areas. But Lusaka and nearby places here, it seems that we can't have those. You know, I'm saying this because before you suspended the announcement of the results. Why is it that we are able to receive results from far places than the nearest places, especially here in Lusaka? Thank you.
I'll take one more before the chairperson can respond. Yes, Mr.
afternoon.
First and foremost, I would like to condemn the suspension of announcing the results of the polling station which have already done the voting in the county, because the process itself is too costly of actually extending the announcement of the result. Is too costly to you, the commission, and us as participants in this presidential election. And on that note, I would like to pose one question. Is it because UPND complained about the other places voting, or you got complaint from all the participating political parties? Because to me personally, I know it is not fair. If there are any places that are young, it's better give us those updates as we await for those places. Because it's not making sense. Those places, they're saying one, they're accessible. There's no Airtel, there's no CLD, there's no networking shops. So they can't even hear what's happening here. So there's no point. The best way you can do is just give us those results as they come. It will actually begin the process. Thank you so much.
I'll request the chairperson to respond.
The first question was, will there be progress in those areas as to the deployment? Yes, there will be updates from the director on how far we have gone in those areas. There will be periodic updates from the director. The other question is, was it a personal decision? I think this one is, I can marry it even to the last question to say, is it because UPND complained, did the other stakeholders complained, that is too costly, and so forth? Some of these areas do have GSM network. When we were dealing only with the likes of Mitete, before we got the full picture, there is no GSM network. Is it because the other people have complained? Nobody has complained. But for those of you who are involved in elections in other countries, it is a convention for EMBs not to announce results when other people are voting. There are countries who have different time zones, so that this time zone finishes before the other time zone finishes. They wait. Because the effect of announcing results when other people are voting is that you influence their mind. I mean, if I was voting and I'm told the X is leading, what the heck? Let me also go for X. You know? This is what we mean, that people must make their own independent decision on the basis of how the political parties campaigned, sold themselves, whether they appeal to this particular voter. It is not something which is new to Zambia. Get me here. It is not that something which has been invented by ECZ. This is the practice all over. Yes, few results were announced before we realized that this thing, we reconsidered that no, for all these polling stations, it will not be fair. Let's just suspend. That is our decision. Rightly, wrongly, condemn us, that is our decision. Delays in Lusaka. We have already received the results from Lusaka. We are verifying them. But you are right to say that previously, Lusaka would take some time. It would take some time before we get the results from Lusaka. There's something about Lusaka. I don't know what happens. Lusaka would take some time. And Lusaka is one of the easiest to verify, because if Munali brings us the results, we can't even say, go and fax the other copy. Just give us the copy. No? So Lusaka is very easy. But somehow, things take long in their polling stations. Then they'll bring the results to the results center. So Lusaka results, we have most of them. We will be verifying them. And as I said, for us, it's the paper trail. That's all we follow, the paper trail. That's all. Once we are satisfied with the paper trail, it tallies with what we have electronically, that result is passed. I think that's how I can answer.
I just want to make
My name is Shirika Tayari, coming from the Zambian Voice. Madam Chair, I sympathize with the predicament in which you find yourself in, that you have decided to actually stop the dissemination of the results. Madam Chair, I was here the whole night, and around 03, I don't know if you have gotten this incident. There was a lot of noise here. Tempers flared. Emotions were high. Why are you taking long to release the results? I am usually online, and at the moment, there are so many people that are posting results, which are some of them not reliable, and a lot of people, there is so much anxiety out there for people to get the results. And I think I would like to concur with some of the people that have come here. And I think if you look at the people that we're talking about, the total registered voters in these places who are voting is only about 21,000. We have 5.1 million people who have voted and they are anxious. And my fear is that, like you have said, that some of the media houses are able to phone some of these places and get the results. And these already caused the flare that we had last night, because some people were saying, we have already won. Why are you still dilling? And I am afraid you have made the decision, madam, but maybe you need to reconsider, because we might end up with a bigger problem than the one that we want to sort out. So as a mother, I would like you, maybe if instead of going to tomorrow, maybe we do it, maybe this by the end of today, maybe in the night, because I don't think these people in these places will actually be voting during the night. Thank you.
Kindly switch off your microphone. Can I have 2 more questions before the chairperson can respond? It looks like, okay, please come forward.
I just want to find out how many polling stations are concerned.
Across the country?
Yes. And we hear that the bank has insisted that UPNB not continue monitoring the election in the polling station.
You have that information.
I'll take the
there are more than 3. There are more than 3.
During your project, I just wanted to find out from the Commission how effective is the process of getting the results. I'm concerned because of the 2011 elections where we didn't manage to get results from one of the polling stations in Western Province that was somewhere in Congo there. And you ended up announcing the presidential candidate before you could get the results from there. due to your own reasons that you gave to us. Now I'm trying to find out where you're saying you sent posters to deliver the ballot papers. How effective are those people that time that they will bring the results on time? And the chairperson will respond.
Maybe I'll start with the last one, which spoke of 2011. In 2011, by the time we were declaring the result, there were no more voters who were voting. All the stations had closed. But the problem was getting those results from those far-flung stations. The law does allow us to ascertain the winner of an election. And in 2011, we still had 7, was it constituencies?
Yes.
We still had 7 constituencies to go at the time that we declared. At that time, the leading candidate had more votes than the number of registered voters in those 7 constituencies. So in short, it was game over. Because even if you assume, which may not happen, that everybody there voted for the trailing candidates, there was no way they were going to catch up. So the law does allow us to ascertain the winner. And once we have ascertained the winner, then we can declare the result. How effective, that was the question. How many polling stations do we have across the country? We have 6,456 polling stations. 6,456 polling stations. The person who made this, who posed this question said he is aware that ZAF has denied UPND the permission to fly. Well, it's news to us. You seem to be very well informed, because in resolving this issue, we sounded the powers that be. We contacted the acting president, and we were informed that the issue has been resolved. So you have more credible information than us. So maybe that is the position. If it is, then we can foresee another complaint coming. But let me state that going to polling station is the prerogative of any of the candidates, any of the political parties. They can visit polling station in the same manner that they did yesterday. They can go to any polling station and visit any polling station. Here, it was just the mode of transport which was an issue. If this candidate said, I'm using a boat, I doubt if they would have even come to us to ask for that permission. Not to ask for permission, to tell us that they have been curtailed from visiting the polling station. Any candidate is free to visit any polling station. So this is the position. That there was a fracas here at 03 because the results are taking too long. This is the problem which probably is endemic to us as Zambians. When we vote today, we want results yesterday. We only voted yesterday. We voted yesterday. We have to verify the results. We have to use the paper trail to verify the results. So why were these people fighting at 03? Why were they fighting at 03? You want us to give you unverified results? You know what has happened in other countries, where results are not verified and they are released, and later you find that you made a mistake. As I said, these results are in the public domain from the polling station, when they are given to the political party agents, to the monitors, and whoever is present there. When they are pasted outside each polling station to say these are the results for this station, those results are in the public domain. From that time onwards, you create a paper trail. Is it very difficult to audit this trail? No, it is not. It's only the same issues we are talking about of how you move from the polling station up to here, the result center. So what I can say is, please bear with us as we discharge our mandate and give you a correct result as announced at the polling station, because that's the basis of the entire results management system. I think to say, is it in order to send more people to these stations? It's not ECZ who is sending these people to the stations. We simply tell you that these stations are accessible to all the candidates, to all the political party agents who have been accredited in that district. So please, it's not ECZ sending these people. It's the people coming to us asking that they want to monitor these polling stations. All we do is simply give accreditation. And in this case, we gave accreditation to the monitors. They will be present in these polling stations. But each candidate is free to visit any polling station because they are a candidate.
I thought we had exhausted all our questions, but I'll have the final three hands. Yes, ma'am.
Chairman of the Electoral Commission of Zambia. You mentioned that in 2011 there were 7 constituencies and then they were not yet declared, but you had to announce the winner. Do you think the 51 voting stations, which are not even constituencies, will they make a difference for someone who will be winning, that it might contribute more to someone who will be winning than the 7 constituencies which you did announce before? These are only voting stations. Thank you.
I think what I said was that as at that time everybody had voted, we did not announce the winner when others were voting. Everybody had voted. The challenge was getting the results from those areas. Yes, you talk about the 21,000 voters, but these people are still voting. It's the same voter as the one who voted yesterday. This is the same. In short, you're asking us to do a balancing exercise and say, these don't matter. No, let them cast their votes in the same manner that everybody cast their vote. So in short, if we shall reach a stage when everybody has voted and there is a delay in transmission of results, and we can see that from what we have, we can ascertain the winner, we'll repeat 2011. We'll repeat 2011. Our job is simply to assess who has won the election. And if we can assess who has won the election on the basis of what we have, after everybody has voted, then we declare the result. So that's all I can say in answer to that question.
I don't see any hands. Okay. Please go ahead.
My name is Albert from the PFD Youth Center. Madam Justice, I'm very happy that you finished your point up to this time. But as a youth, my main concern is security. I understand you know that you stopped updating the election results as yesterday by participants stop in the TBC. As I'm speaking, many people are updating on online news and on other private media. So what I can say is that today or tonight at 24 hours, I'm very concerned that some political parties who are their own president and the other political parties who will not have their own president, they will know that they have lost the elections for 24 hours because of the TBT. So what I can see is chaos. So I don't know how election. At least if you could have announced the president by 24 hours, or if you could have continued with the announcement of results, we could have the president with the report process and everything would have settled. But for now, let me say by the time we come here at 10 hours, we have the president. So the